Okay, I feel very short. All right, bear with me for just a moment. I would not come to a rally for life about she's a baby and not have my basket of babies. So, I don't know if that's going to, hold on. My apologies. How amazing is it to be here together again on this day when the tide has turned and we know we are winning. We had you might remember, we had a general election last November. You might remember 2016 was a year we probably all want to forget. But I'm here today to tell you that when it was all said and done, in the state of Iowa, 93 counties did not vote for the pro-abortion candidate. Abortion on demand and without apology was soundly rejected across Iowa and across our nation, and we're here to say it was about time. Before I get into a couple of comments that I want to make today, I wanted to give you some greetings. We heard earlier today Lieutenant Governor Reynolds talking about our great friend and pro-life ally, Senator Joni Ernst. She sent me a message last night telling me that she would love to have been here with you. She sends her appreciation and her greetings to each of you. And she would be here today, except she's in Washington working to pass her bill today to end President Obama's 11th hour gift to Planned Parenthood. Let's go back in history just a little bit. Back in 2010, here in Iowa, there were 29 Planned Parenthoods, most of them selling webcam abortions. They had 6 more clinics slated to open in places like Carter Lake, Ottumwa, Mason City, and Marshalltown. In fact, they wanted it to have at least one webcam abortion location in all 99 counties across our state. Did they succeed? That's exactly right. In fact, since 2010, 16 of their clinics have closed for good. And not one of those 6 that were scheduled to open for abortions, they never opened. In fact, what happened in places like Marshalltown and Mason City is we saw the rise of pro-life groups. You've got a booth here today from Mason City, amazing work. What these communities did and continue to do all across the state, from Mason City to Southwest Iowa to Southeast Iowa to Dubuque, all across the state, pro-lifers continue to stand up, as we have since 1973, and say abortion is not acceptable. The intentional killing of an unborn child is not what we want our country and our state to be known for. At this time, there remain only 12 Planned Parenthoods in our state. For that reason, exactly right, since 2007, abortion rates in Iowa have plummeted more than 40%. There are many factors that play into those rates dropping. Abortion clinics closing, absolutely. The rise of pregnancy resource centers and medical clinics across this state, they're saving lives. They're meeting women in crisis, as Lieutenant Governor Reynolds spoke about earlier. They're meeting women in crisis, and they're walking through that journey with her. We also see the rise of ultrasound technology, and without question, the humanity of the unborn is before us in our society like it has never been before. Weeks ago, we saw in the Iowa Senate, they passed Senate File 2 by a resounding vote of 30 to 20. This is the bill, as Speaker Uppmeyer and others referenced earlier today, that will reallocate our tax dollars away from Iowa's abortion centers and providers and toward true quality health care centers. I want to publicly say thank you again to Majority Leader Senator Bill Dix for his leadership in the Senate and getting that out and on its way, as well as other pro-life legislation from the very beginning. What a difference an election makes in the Iowa Senate. It's almost like they were sitting there hungry to save lives, hungry to do things that mattered, hungry to stand up to a majority leader for decades who stood in the way of life-saving legislation. And so from me to you, and all of us are here to say today, we are so grateful for the turn of the tide. So as we talk about abortion centers being defunded, how many of you here in the room have heard, but where will all the poor women go? You heard that? Well, I'm here today to tell you what you probably already have heard. Back on the Iowa Right to Life table, we have a map, and it's probably on other tables around here. The Coalition of Pro-Life Leaders put together a map several weeks ago. This map only shows 157 rural health care centers across the state providing true health care for women. I would encourage you, if you have not already, to stop by the booth and take back as many copies as you need, and also you can find that map on iowaprolifeleaders.com. This is, as I said, it's not even an exhaustive list, but there are so hundreds and hundreds of places that those tax dollars will go to that provide true health care. So while we're at it, let's bust a myth. Is abortion health care? That's exactly right. And let's bust another, I've never used the word bust in public, I promise you. Let's bust another myth together. You might have heard a rumor. I hate women. You hate women. The pro-life majority in the legislature, you hate women. You're only doing this today because you hate women. Is that true? Women among us, do we hate women? That's exactly right. Abortion is not health care, and we do not hate women. The pro-life movement, as Lieutenant Governor, is so fluent at speaking and living, is that pro-life is truly pro-woman. The truth is, abortion supporters can make this about a woman's privacy, they can make it about choice or any other matter, and we can all, everybody in this room, we could all agree with them if the unborn are not human beings. And we know that she's a baby and he's a baby too. Finally, I know you love that word. Finally, I've talked quite a bit today about Iowa's abortion industry, and I want to make something very, very clear. That woman or that man working there, they too were once an unborn baby. And there is no essential difference between the embryo they once were and the adult they are today. It's for that reason that I was honored to join the National Board for And Then There Were None, founded by former abortion clinic manager Abby Johnson. And Then There Were None is an organization that helps abortion clinic workers find another job. Since the organization formed in 2012, more than 350 abortion workers have left their jobs. If you want to know more about And Then There Were None, please stop by the information booth that Cheyenne is running over there and learn more about And Then There Were None and the amazing work that they're doing. Just in closing, 2 things. Please make certain, if you haven't done so already, to stop by every organization's booth today. So many of the Coalition of Pro-Life Leaders, Iowans for Life, Lutherans for Life, the Family Leader, 10 of us, as Bob mentioned earlier, 10 of us to start, 35 now, everywhere from Crawford County Right to Life, on and on. We have all come together, committed, and with one thing in mind: she's a baby. I want to just share a quick story. You saw the baby shoes that are here, and some of you have seen those baby shoes at different places. I think Crawford County Right to Life, for one, is one that has had them at their booth before. And we would all agree that that's a powerful statement. They make a powerful statement. The shoes that are before us today came to us from Boone County. Years ago, they donated them to Pro-Life Work at Iowa Right to Life, and they've just been a somber remembrance of the lives that are lost. But I want to point out to you today, that's only about 2,000 baby shoes. That means that that's not even half of the lives that are lost in Iowa last year and the lives before us. And I want to leave you with a story of somebody that I met a long time ago. His name was Charles. And he was imprisoned at a concentration camp. I'm sorry, he was imprisoned at a concentration camp. And Charles one day was told, they were all told, go dig your grave. We're gonna kill you today. And so they did. The Jews that were in that concentration camp went and they dug their graves. They knew that that was the day that they were going to die. And then the Nazis came forward and they said, you know, we're too tired, we'll kill you in the morning, go to bed. The mind games that they played. And when they woke up the next day, the American liberators were there to save their lives, and they did not die. And the lesson for me in that, as it should be for, I know it is for all of us, we are in this to end this. The American liberators knew that morning that they could not save every single Jew and every single person, disabled or otherwise, in the concentration camps. But they knew they could save that concentration camp that day. And so they did. And they continued on until that battle and that war was won and all lives were saved. That is the best description that I have for each and every one of you. We are in this to end it, and we are going to do everything together that we possibly can to save as many lives as we can together until one day we are all again safe. Thank you very much.